Let me ask you something. Do you ever just sit there and suddenly feel this knot in your chest? Like, oh my God, what if I'm wasting my life? Like, what if all the things I'm doing right now don't actually matter? What if I look back 10, 20, 40 years from now and all I see is missed chances, wasted time, and memories of me playing it safe? That fear, yeah, you're not alone. In fact, I'd argue it's one of the most human fears ever. We live in this world where everything is constantly screaming at us. Be productive, be successful, be fulfilled, do more, be more. And at the same time, we're told, take it slow, enjoy the moment, don't rush. Like, okay, which one is it? And in that tension, regret grows. Because regret is born from that little whisper. I could have done it differently. But here's the catch. Regret is not just a sign that you've messed up. It's actually a sign that you care. Regret is proof that you're awake enough to realize your choices matter. Let's zoom out for a sec. Philosophers have been obsessed with regret forever. Soren Kierkegaard, for example, had this savage line, "You'll regret it if you marry, and you'll regret it if you don't." Basically saying, regret is inevitable no matter what choice you make, because every decision is also the death of an infinite number of other lives you could have lived. That's terrifying, right? But also kind of liberating. Because if regret is unavoidable, maybe the goal isn't to avoid it, but to choose it wisely. I still remember this one time when my friends invited me on a trip. Nothing crazy, just the weekend getaway. And I said no. I told myself I was too busy, I had stuff to do. But looking back, I don't even remember what I was so busy with. I just remember not going and regretting it for years. That moment taught me something. The things you say no to out of fear or laziness sometimes weigh heavier than the things you actually try and fail at. And I know you've got your own version of that story. Maybe it's the job you didn't take, the person you didn't confess to, the trip you kept postponing, the dream you told yourself you'd chase someday. And now you're wondering if someday is ever going to show up. Here's the truth. The fear of wasting your life is actually the doorway to living it fully. Because people who never think about it, they're the ones who sleepwalk through life. You, if you're even watching this, it means you're awake enough to feel the urgency. And that's powerful. Another philosopher, Seneca, wrote this absolute mic drop of a line. It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. And when I first read that, it hit me like a truck, because he's not blaming life for being too short, he's blaming us for acting like time is endless. Think about your phone battery. When it's at 100%, you don't care, you're scrolling, wasting it. But when it hits 5%, suddenly every second matters. That's life. The fear of wasting your life is your low battery mode. It's your brain saying, wake up, stop sleepwalking, pay attention. But let's be real. Knowing that doesn't magically fix the fear. So what do we do with it? Here's where philosophy actually gets practical. There are basically 3 ways people deal with regret and the fear of wasting life. They ignore it, they drown in it, or they use it. Let's break that down. 1. Ignoring it. This is when people numb themselves with distractions, scrolling endlessly, binging shows, chasing meaningless busyness. The fear's still there, but it's muffled, and the problem is that works until it doesn't. One random night at 2 a.m., it all comes crashing back. 2. Drowning in it. This is when regret becomes your identity. You replay every choice you didn't make, every chance you didn't take, until you're paralyzed. You start believing the story, it's too late for me. Spoiler alert, it's not. But if you believe it long enough, it becomes your reality. 3. Using it. This is where the magic happens. Instead of running from regret or drowning in it, you listen to it. You let it show you what actually matters to you. Because regret is basically your soul saying, hey, that's where you want to be. That's who you want to be. There was someone in my life I cared about deeply, but I never told them. I drafted messages, I thought about calls, but I always stopped myself. It'll be weird, they already know, I'll do it later. And then one day, later wasn't an option anymore. That regret, it hit hard. But it also pushed me to stop overthinking and just tell people what they mean to me, while I still can. Let me throw another story at you. I once met this older guy. He was like in his 70s, and out of nowhere, he told me his biggest regret was not learning how to play the guitar. I laughed, like, dude, you could literally learn now. And he just shrugged and said, I guess it's too late. But here's the thing, it wasn't too late. He just decided it was. And that's when I realized regret only solidifies when you stop moving. As long as you're alive, there's still time to flip the script. Let's get deeper for a sec. Nietzsche had this thought experiment called eternal recurrence. Imagine that every choice you make, every day you live, you'd have to repeat it for all eternity, exactly as it is. Would you be proud? Or would you feel trapped? He wasn't saying the universe actually works like that. He was just trying to force us to ask, are you living in a way that you'd willingly live on repeat forever? And if not, what are you waiting for to change it? On the flip side, there was one time I did something small but terrifying. I signed up to give a talk in front of a group of strangers. My hands were literally shaking. I thought I'd embarrass myself. But you know what? It turned out to be one of the best experiences of my life. That one leap showed me that most of the things we're scared of don't destroy us. They open doors. And when I think of not wasting life, I think of moments like that. The risks that scared me, but made me grow. Here's where I'll get vulnerable. There are nights when I lay in bed staring at the ceiling and that fear hits me. What if I'm not doing enough? What if I'm wasting everything? And honestly, it used to crush me. But lately I've been flipping the script. I tell myself, what if wasting your life isn't about what you haven't done, but about not being present for the things you already are doing? Because maybe it's not about stacking achievements, it's about showing up for the people you love, for the moments you're in, for yourself. One time I binged an entire season of a show in a single day. And at first I thought, great, I wasted 10 hours. But weirdly enough, that day ended up being a reset for me. It gave my brain a break, and the next day I had the energy to finally tackle something I'd been avoiding. That taught me that not every waste of time is truly wasted. Sometimes rest is the thing that saves you. So let me drop this perspective. What if regret isn't the enemy? What if regret is the compass? It's pointing you toward the life you actually crave. If you regret not saying, I love you more often, it means love matters to you. So say it. If you regret not chasing that dream, it means passion matters to you. So start, even small. If you regret wasting time on people who didn't value you, it means connection matters to you. So protect your energy. Regret shows you what matters. Fear shows you where you alive. Okay, let's slow down. Imagine your life like a video game. You don't get infinite saves, but you do get infinite moves until the game's over. You're gonna make some bad calls. You're gonna regret some paths. But the beauty is, every time you regret, you learn. Every time you fear wasting life, you wake up. So maybe the real waste isn't messing up. The real waste is not playing. And if you're watching this right now thinking, yeah, but I've already wasted so much time, stop. That's the trap. Because you only ever live in the present. Your past regrets, they're just stories. The only power they have is the power you keep giving them. Today is still unwritten. And the fact that you're even reflecting on this proves you still care enough to write it well.
Let me leave you with this. One day you will be old. You will look back on this exact season of your life, and you'll either say, I was too afraid of regret to live, or you'll say, I used my fear as fuel. The choice is right now. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. So if you're afraid of wasting your life, good. That fear means you're paying attention. Now use it. If you made it this far, you're a real one. Thank you for giving me some of your time today. If this video hit home for you, do me a favor, drop a comment. Tell me what part spoke to you the most, or share your own story of regret or your own fear of wasting time. I'd love to read it. And honestly, I think a lot of other people would too. And if you found value here, hit that like button. It seems small, but it really helps push this conversation out to more people who might need it. And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe.